We forget to talk about white nationalism and the fact that this country was a settler colonial country based on taking land from indigenous people and suppressing enslaved people. Gun conversation, as soon as you wade into it, is so frickin' racist. It's really misogynistic, and when we really start to zoom in on this stuff, we find levers. We can better identify where threats come from, what kinds
It's the exact opposite of being racist. It actually is the exact opposite. Anti-gun legislation is racist. Trying to get guns out of the hands of minorities, because guess what? It is difficult to oppress an armed minority group. It is incredibly difficult to do so. Owning guns is not racist. Owning guns is liberty. Gun control and trying to take away guns has a racist past. The amount of examples of Black Americans back in the late 1800s owning firearms, or maybe even early 1900s owning firearms, protecting their property from racist groups like the KKK. There's countless examples of that. People that were trying to enforce anti-gun legislation were trying to get guns out of the hands of people that they didn't like, whatever minority group it may be, trying to get guns out of the hands of groups of people that they wanted to oppress.
Having a gun on me would have not saved my life. If anything, it would have cost me my life, because it gives you this false concept of confidence in a life or death situation when your first instinct should be to flee or evade.
What are your ideas about other cost-effective ways to defend yourself?
Well, when we think about defending your home or your body or from harm or assault, the most impactful thing you can have is a known deterrent. Gun is not a known deterrent.
Okay, gun's not a known deterrent. The CDC reports guns being used defensively around 2 million times per year. Obviously, it's an incredibly difficult figure to track, of course, but they are, at the very least, they're used hundreds of thousands of times per year in the United States as a deterrent. As a deterrent. It's the great equalizer. It's the great equalizer between a small woman and a large man breaking into her home. So this guy was, he mentioned in the panel that he had been shot. So he was saying it wouldn't have helped me. So because he's using himself, it wouldn't have helped him in his specific situation. He's making an argument for it not helping you.
Like good ideas in terms of gun regulation, if any.
The question I have is, are we going after the guns, or are we going after the people that are using them illegally? The second something happens, they don't talk about the person that committed the crime, but if someone's not on the opposite side of the gun, it will never go off unless the trigger is pulled. And I think there needs to be more accountability, whether legally or not legally used.
Police officer making some good points right here. It is an inanimate object. The person that is that is pulling the trigger is the person that is committing the crime. The gun isn't just going off shooting random people. So this is where they're talking about what can be done in terms of gun regulation.
Say, wait a minute, if I do something really dumb with this or hurt somebody, I might not see the light of day for a while.
We've created this image in America, and I partially blame the media, that violence in Black communities is a result of criminal activity, when in reality, most situations are interpersonal conflicts that are not connected to another felony. And that false sense of having a firearm will make me safer turns what would have been a fist fight, an argument, into something that causes someone their life. You move your finger.
It's not the community that is the problem. It is the fact that the community has weapons. Now, of course, you don't want illegal weapons within a community that is a problem community. Of course. That goes without saying. But these are not arguments to limit other people's right to self-defense.